Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Here to inspire you, enlighten you, and to build you up. Well, today we're going to talk about masculinity and femininity. Two words that seem to be somewhat confused here in the West. Masculinity seems to be fading away fast and being taken over not by femininity, but by femininity masqueraded as masculinity, if that makes any sense to you. But before we get into this too deeply, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We have a video coming out every day, unless I forget to. Well, I don't forget, but sometimes I schedule it wrong. I did notice this last week I had one day that I missed, I think. But hey, nobody's perfect, including me, although sometimes I think I am. Far from it. Okay, and leave a comment in the comments section if you would like me to speak on something. And if you feel that video is of value to you, you can hit the PayPal donate button or the Cash App and donate whatever you feel the value was worth to you. Okay, we will begin. I was looking at some of the famous people in the world, famous women. Now, I don't know many of them, but I'm going to speak about a couple. Kamala Harris is one. She admittedly said that she rose to the top by, she was friends with a judge at one time. Intimate friends, I believe she said, and he recommended her or helped her move up. And then we have Melinda Gates. Of course, we all know who she was married to. And the point I'm making here is femininity, there is a strength in that people seem to discount, at least here in the US. They look at it like a weakness. And far from being a weakness, it is a strength. But the women here in the US since the 60s, since the women's liberation movement, have been taught that they need to be like men. Excuse me. They need to act like men. They need to excel like men. They need to, they actually admire men, even though they're somewhat envious and jealous of men. Now, I'm not talking about all women, of course, but I'm talking about this movement to dethrone masculinity or to press masculinity down. But it's strange how they want to press it down or act like it's toxic, but yet they dress like men. Some of them cut their hair like men. Some of them shake your hands like men. I have that happen all the time. They're not men, and I'm not a woman. I'm never going to be a woman. Even if I had a sex change, which I don't plan on doing, I will never be a woman. And thus, they will never be men. No matter how they dress, how they cut their hair, how they build up their body, they're just never going to be men. Now, is that good or bad? Well, who was it? Shakespeare said, "Nothing is neither good nor bad. No, nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." Why would it be bad? Look at the power a woman has with her femininity. Kamala Harris is the vice president because she used her femininity, her persuasion, which results from her femininity to rise to the vice president of the United States, the first black woman to ever be the vice president of the United States. Did she get there by her logical deductions? Probably not, but she got there by using her feminine persuasion. Some people may say manipulation, but there's a fine line between manipulation and persuasion, and no one knows except her which one it was. I don't know. Maybe she really liked this judge. He was an older man, and he helped her work her way to the top. Some people might say that she effed her way to the top. Regardless, you don't know because you don't know what she really felt about this man or what her motives were. No one knows the intentions of a person except the person themselves. We may judge by what we see them do from the outside or what they accomplish and what we perceive their way to the way they achieved this accomplishment, but we really don't know. So it's best not to judge. Although I have done that sometimes. So femininity, rather than being a weakness, is a great strength. But yet, few people realize it in the West. Look at the story of Helena of Troy. Look at the problem because of her beauty. This man just fell in love with her, and look at the war that it caused. Whether that was a myth or not, I'm not sure. But it's a story, and it makes a lot of sense. Melinda Gates was married to Bill Gates. Do you think that her position in the world now as one of the most powerful women in the world or successful women in the world had anything to do with her relationship with Bill Gates? I would say it probably did. So there you go. She was married to a man. Many, many women have succeeded because of a man, because they used their feminine persuasion to get what they wanted through the man. Now, in reverse, do you see men using their masculine persuasion to get what they want through a woman? No, usually a man goes out and does it by himself. But there are men who have a woman behind them who is a feminine woman who supports him and encourages him, and he thus succeeds more than he would without, without her, or with a woman who drug him down. I told my last girlfriend, I said, here's the deal. If you're not with me, you're basically against me. I'm better off without you than I am with you. If you get a woman who does not want to cooperate, who does not want to submit, and I know women hate that word, submit. What's so terrible about submitting to your man? You will go to work and submit to a boss, run your ass off to do what you think he wants you to do to make a good impression on him, so you maybe make more money, or he'll favor you, or you'll get his approval. But then you'll go home and you won't do the same thing for your husband, who provides you with a home, food, clothes, protection, provision, etc., etc. Oh, but you're working? Okay. 90% of the time, if not more, the man is making more than the woman. So he's providing more than the woman is providing for him, as far as finances go and protection. But in regards, the woman has something to provide that the man cannot provide for himself, if she is giving him that provision. But part of the problem in the U.S. is women think that they're belittling themselves by supporting their man, by encouraging their man, by being a traditional housewife. God forbid if a woman wanted to be a traditional housewife. I'll give you an example. When I was married, the last time I was married, my wife, we had 3 kids at the time. She stayed home. Women would ask her, what do you do? Well, I take care of my kids. Well, don't you work? That's what they would ask her. Don't you work? Well, here's the deal. Most women have opted to work out of the house. They use the excuse that, well, it takes both of our incomes to provide for the kids. Does it? Does it take both incomes for you and your woman to provide for your kids? Or now, if you're single, do you think that it will take both of your incomes to provide for you, your wife, and your kids? Well, it will if you want 2 Escalades in the driveway and you want a $500,000 house or $1 million home. Yes. And what is that telling your kids? Indirectly, it's telling them that money and material things are more important than their welfare. So you take the kids off and you put them in daycare. You leave the house at 6 or 7 in the morning. You both get back at 5 or 6 at night. How much energy and time do you have for your children? You have plenty of energy and time to go out there and make that buck, so you can have those beautiful cars, the jet ski, maybe the place at the lake, a boat, and whatever else you have. In America, we have so much junk that we have to build storage sheds to keep it all in. People have 2 and 3 car garages and a basement, but yet they still have to rent a storage shed to put their stuff in, because we've gotten away from the traditional masculine and feminine relationship, the woman staying home and taking care of the kids, and the man going out and working and just having a regular house and not all these expensive vehicles so we can keep up with the Joneses. We've become very materialistic. I'm not blaming the women for that, it's the men also. We have to have the biggest house, the nicest cars, etc., etc. And look at the price we're paying for it. Our children are paying the price for it. But I'm getting off the topic here. Back to femininity. Femininity is a real strength. You get a good man who's got some goals, visions, and dreams, and get a feminine woman behind him, and they can really excel and accomplish great feats, great successes in their lives. But in the reverse, as I said, if you pick a woman that doesn't want to do anything except be part of your success, and let's say she moves in or you marry her, and you come home every day, the house is a mess, you have kids with her, she's not taking care of the kids, she doesn't cook for you, she doesn't clean, she doesn't do your laundry, she just sits around all day, lays around, says she's depressed and bored because she's not doing anything. She's always wanting you to take her out every time you come home because she's been in the house all day, which I understand that. But is she contributing? You need a woman that's going to contribute to your dreams, to your vision. And by her doing this, she benefits greatly, her and her children. Women are not happy in the workplace. All women, okay, let's say 95% or more, when they get to be around 20, 21, 22, they start thinking about having kids. But society tells them today, oh, you can wait, you got plenty of time. You need to go have your career. All these women now are raised to believe they got to go out there and be somebody like a man. Few, if any, maybe the Amish community, the Mennonites, are raised to believe that they need to go out and have a family and have kids and have children. Kids and children, same thing. But you get the point. Okay. They're raised to believe that they need to go out and make a mark in the world, have a career, have a vision like a man. And their vision is not family and children. But they're not satisfied with this because men and women are different. Men receive their fulfillment from going out there and accomplishing and conquering and overcoming. Women do not achieve the same fulfillment as men do from that. I'm not saying there aren't outliers, because there are, but in general, that's the way it works. A woman is happier because they're more relationship orientated than men. A woman is happier at home. She is the one that is supposed to nurture the relationship of the kids, the husband, the family. That is her forte, if you like. And this is part of her feminine strength and ability. Many women throughout history have brought men down. They were able to use their feminine persuasion to get into the palaces of great kings. Look at Mark Antony. Was it Mark Antony? Yeah, Mark Antony of Rome. Look at Napoleon. Both of these men got hooked up with a woman who was very persuasive, very feminine, very powerful. And she was able to manipulate him or persuade him, if you like, to do as she wanted him to do with her feminine power. Femininity is not a weakness, it's a strength. And once again, as I said, it's a strength that has been forgotten here in the West, in the U.S. So that's something you can think about today. If you're a woman, or even if you're a man, you have to be very careful who you allow into your inner circle, especially in your intimate relationships, because you will pick up her attitudes, her outlooks, and these things. Even if you're having a long distance relationship with her and you're just talking to her via messenger or text, and maybe you're only getting together with her once a month for a few days, even then, her personality, her attitude, her demeanor, her whole outlook will transfer to you. And the more intimate you are with her, the more it will do. It will do that. So you better make sure that she is, I would say, somewhat healthy, that she is the kind of woman that is going to what I say, is going to be a sail for you instead of an anchor. We have anchors and we have sails. I've had some anchors. Okay, I've had women who wanted to be part of my life. They looked at my life and they thought, man, you got a great life. I want to be part of that. And that's great. Hey, come on. I'd love to have you join me on my journey. But what happens is when they become part of your life, they don't realize that you get up every day, you do the same thing every day in, day out, consistency. That's not that you don't take a vacation, you don't have some fun, you don't do some exciting things. My life has been quite an adventure. Pick that book up, Coming Back Home, The True Adventure of Mark Daniels. Available on Amazon. Do a plug there. But a lot of it is just doing the same thing over and over and over again every day. Success habits or failure habits. Which do you have? Which do you have? Think about that. Because it's not just one big thing you do one day. It's what you do over and over repeatedly, consistently, with perseverance through days, weeks, months, and years that brings you the success that you have or that you desire more of. And what happens is when you bring these women into your life, they don't want to do that. They want to ride on your coattails. And what do you think happens when someone just wants to ride on your coattails? Can you imagine someone grabbing a hold of I have a jacket on, the back of my jacket or your jacket, and you walking and trying to walk with them just holding on to you as you pull them along? Well, this is an analogy for what happens when you get a woman who wants to be part of your life and your success, but she doesn't want to do anything different. She wants to lay around all morning. She doesn't want to encourage you. She doesn't want to do her part. And guess what? She's that woman hanging on your coattails as you're trying to walk along. And as you probably guessed, you can't walk very fast with her behind you hanging on your coattails. It's a great weight and it will drag you down and cause you to lose everything you have if you don't cut her loose. And I've had to cut quite a few of them loose. And you will too. And sometimes you have to cut your friends loose. Some of your family you have to cut loose. Anything or anybody that's negative or pulling you back or that does not encourage you or support you, you need to cut these people out of your life. So keep that in mind as you trudge the road of happy destiny. And that's all I have time for today. I'm glad you're here, and I want to thank you specifically to all my 1,350 subscribers. You are the reason I'm here, other than my selfish motives of wanting to feel good. And I know if I pass something on to you that helps you, it helps me doubly. So remember that. Whatever you give away in life comes back to you multiplied. And the reverse of that is this. Whatever you take from people in life will be taken from you multiplied. That is a universal law of God if you like, however you choose to look at it. I'm not a religious guy, but it just works like gravity. If you jump off the building, guess what? You're going to hit the ground, whether you believe in gravity or not. So remember, treat others the way you want to be treated, except for women. Treat them the way they want to be treated, not the way you want to be treated. All right? I got to go. Take care.